We got stuff right here, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to session 5. A session in which I must admit, I'm looking forward to.
Leads, listings, and leverage.
Leads, listings, and leverage. Wow, you're going old school here. That's good. Wow.
Bold.
Well, lead generation is basically one of my favorites, and quite frankly, it should be your favorite.
Yeah.
So,
For the businesses.
do you know what most realtors don't like? Lead generation. Do you know what powers their business? Lead generation.
Right.
Do you know how to get more clients? Lead generation. Do you know how to put your name out there? Lead generation. How do you should let people know that, hey, I'm here to help?
Lead generation.
What is the key foundation to your business?
Lead generation.
And what do we have to do daily?
Lead generation.
Class dismissed. Okay, so let's get started. All right, here we go. Let's see here. All right, so today we know, yes, cool, got it, bingo, bongo, gen. All right, guys. So there are 4 categories to ignite. You've done 2 of 4 with me already under real estate expert of choice. And who is the expert of choice?
Us. Me.
Correct, us, I am, so forth. Next, we go into the generation. Now, obviously, there's gonna be more courses here, as you know. Interesting. I thought it was 12 steps. Maybe there's 20. Anyways, whatever. Generating leads is gonna be the topic of discussion today. And we're gonna make this one fun. I'm gonna suit it up for you guys. This is how excited I am. I'm ready. Okay. So today we begin our lead generation segment. We must find people to work with. Oh my goodness, what a concept, right? So these people are known as leads, and they fuel your business growth in the present and in the future. Leads are responsible for growth potential and protect you against market shifts. Ooh, do we know what that means? The market shifts, but as long as you have a good reputation and a ton of leads, someone is always going to be buying and selling no matter what the market is.
Elon Musk's new homes for 10,000.
Precisely. Now, lead generation plus lead follow-up plus our next big segment are the fundamentals of real estate. And what industry are we in?
Real estate.
Wrong. Lead generation.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Yes, real estate. So first, let's hear about our success stories that we've had thus far. So far, you've spent 50% of your Ignite sessions with me. You've survived. How are we doing so far? Now, spark your career, embrace your job, connect with your market, define your value. Have we done that so far? Have we been talking to people? Have we been adding people to the database? Have we defined why people want to work with us? Why they should work with us? What makes you special? What basically keeps you ticking, right? Oh my God, that might be a lead. He's already ready to go for the class. So who wants to volunteer? Where are we at? Are we guys actually like being proactive with the course? Are we making our phone calls? Are we defining our value? I mean, can we all get a yes, a no, maybe I'm stuck on something, or I'm with you so far?
Yes.
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 Yes, I'm with you so far?
Yes.
That's what I'm looking so far, proactive.
Yes, I do need some help with like. Just the basics and some technology so that I.
Basics of technology. Perfect, okay. That won't be this session,
Yes.
but we got you. Yeah, and I love the honesty. So guys, thank you for being transparent with me.
I have a concern.
A concern? Ooh, I
Yeah,
love
so
these.
I don't know if other women have the same problem. I know women think differently, men are very narrow minded and women are thinking about a billion things at a time. So like, it's hard for me to be focused and just set a time where I can just lead generate for about 20 hours. It's really hard for me to just sit even for 5 minutes and not think about something else. So what do I need to do to just kind of like close my doors and just, just focus? 'Cause
Really?
that's my
I'm just
main
kidding. No. I'm kidding. No, so basically what you wanna do. Is now lead generation, we know, is the key foundation of your business, right? Because without the leads, there is no business, right? But there's roots that inspire lead generation. And the biggest thing that you can do to allow lead generation to happen in your life. Is one of the other most important factors that is not on here, but is something that you need to know, and it's called time management, time blocking, right? Now, granted, if you feel like you're going to get distracted. And that whatever you're gonna get distracted by is more important than the lead generation. Then your big why on why you're doing this might not be strong enough. So you're gonna have to reevaluate what is important about me being in real estate and why I do what I do and why I took the time to get licensed in the first place. But when it comes to time management. Hey, good, okay. Oh, wait. Goodness. So when it comes to lead generation, we have to time block, and in order to time block, you have to figure out what I like to call your hours of operation. Every business, and you're all in business to be a business owner, right?
Yeah.
And you all have individual businesses, right? What are your hours of operation? Now, I like to use an optometrist. Now, Jeremy, you have glasses, you have glasses, I have glasses. Now, when it comes to the fundamentals of the optometrist that we go to, right? They have an hour of operations. What is it? Right? Mine is open from like 8 to 5, right? Now 8 to 5, it's 6 o'clock, can I call them? No. Why? They're closed. I have to wait till next business day. Now, unless you have a real good personal relationship or it's a family member that is your optometrist, that's gonna be a little different. But if you're talking about the general public, typically now you're gonna have to wait till next business day. Especially if it's not really an emergency, right? They set that standard and you guys are okay with that standard, right? You're okay with allowing. A day to go by before you talk to your eye doctor because you respect their hours of operation, right? Well, your clients are no different than you, okay? Now, when it comes down to the time in which they're open, do you think the doctor's walking in right at 8 o'clock when they open?
No,
Why?
he's getting there an hour before to get ready for opening.
Okay, what about,
Clients, get ready for clients,
okay, so they're prepping.
yeah.
Okay, what about 5 o'clock when they close? Are they at the door the second 5 minutes? What happens?
Probably now, we're
Probably, okay, so basically they're there from 7 to 6, but their hours of operation is from 8 to 5. Now, within those hours of operation, what happens? They're doing what's called IPAs, income producing activities. Because if your optometrist doesn't have any clients that day and they're open, they got staff, they got bills, they got lights, building that they're making, all that stuff, bless you, right? Then they're not making any money, and that's a really bad day, right? So the thing is, they have, and this is still part of answering your question. They still have some sort of, it's almost like if I don't do this, this won't happen, or if I don't do this, this will happen. In their case, if I don't do this, right? They will have to close up shop because they won't be able to pay the rent, the bills, the lights, keep the operation open, right? But if they lead generate, advertise, do what they do to lead generate to get people into the door, and then now they got a full staff working for them, setting appointments, creating appointments, following up with appointments. Doing all that while the doctor focuses on what? The actual appointment, right? They're not doing all the little busy work, which is why another segment I talk about teams. But anyways. During the hours of operation, once you figure that out, you have to figure out what hours you're going to be putting in towards lead generation. Okay, and when you do that, create an environment. For instance, I'll give you an example of when I did it, right? We're going off book here, obviously, but I would call it my bunker mode. So if I'm lead generating for 4 hours, I would make sure what happens. Go to the bathroom, get snacks, I'm
No
prepping,
distractions.
like the hours of operation,
Yeah.
right? I'm going in, and so I am locked down for 4 hours. The only time I leave my office is if I really have to go to the bathroom. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And if I'm gone for 5 minutes, I roll that 5 minutes on. So if I'm doing it from like 8 to 12, then I go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, now I'm done at 12:05. Sometimes I have so much fun lead generating. That, let's say, let's be honest, I'm not gonna stop until I get at least one appointment, and sometimes. Some people are just having a bad day and it's just going around. So I'm like, I'm not gonna end until I get one positive phone call, even if it's not an appointment. And you never know where that one positive phone call might turn into an appointment. But nonetheless, to answer your question, create the hours in which you're going to perform as a realtor, but also create the hours in which you're going to actually lead generate. And make sure that the reason you're doing it is so important that the distractions don't even matter. Oh, that doesn't matter. I'm gonna earn that. Make sure that all the distractions are earned. Right, but focus on the lead generation aspect so that way, when it's like. You guys remember back at school, some of you guys waited to the last minute to do your homework, turn it in, how stressful was that? Right, but imagine when you got the homework done right before, spring vacation, what happened? You're like, oh, cool, I don't have to work on nothing, I can go have fun, no stress, right, you come back, hey, I got it turned in, cool. Right, that felt good. Well, your business is no different, the only thing is, turning it in late and having that pressure turns into missed opportunities, right? How many different people are you not calling because you decide to A, get distracted with other things, or B, not actually set up a time to lead generate and go into your version of your bunker mode? Make sense? So what I would do is I would do a minimum of 15 to 17 hours a week when I was a realtor, lead generate. I would call in the morning, I would call in the afternoon, and I would recycle these leads, right? If they didn't answer in the morning, I'd call them 2 days later in the afternoon. If they didn't do that, then I'd call them a day later in the morning. If I didn't hear from that, well, the next week you call them, give them some breaks, right? So I was trying to be a little strategic on how I called each individual lead. Yes.
Sorry, there's someone.
Oh, thank you. If you guys see this, let me know. You did great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Joe, welcome to the call. Okay. Joe, can you hear me? Can you see the screen? Yes, no, maybe? Okay, good. So, when it comes to lead generation, time management, time blocking, building your bunker mode to lead gen is going to be a very important factor. And sometimes that takes a little discipline, right? So for instance, you're gonna want to put something that's gonna hurt, right? Not like physically, but like, oh, well, I was gonna go out with friends, and have some happy hour tonight. Okay, cool. Well, can you hold yourself accountable and say, well, I'm gonna go once I know I've hit my 4 hours of lead gen, or once I've added 10 contacts to my database, whatever you set for yourself. But if I don't hit it, I don't get to go. You gotta suffer a little bit, right? Let that motivate you to do the objective, which is lead generation. Okay? All right. Well, let's continue here. Okay. So by the end of this session, you will be able, and this is the goal of this particular class, is to generate business from the people you know and know you. Okay? Identify your sphere of influence and calculate the potential income opportunity. Ooh, that's gonna be fun. Do you guys know what potential income is? Well, we'll get to that. That's a fun one. Categorize your sphere of influence and expand your reach. Apply best practices of lead generation. And to start thinking about what you will learn today, let's consider what questions we might have and what we like to learn about. So let's see. As you know, I like to put you guys in little partners for about 5 minutes, but what I want to do is this. When it comes to lead generation, I'm just going to ask you guys, because I already went on a tangent, no reason to go into 5-minute groups here. What is important about lead generation to you that when you leave this class today, you're like, that was awesome. I learned that, I'm going to apply that, I'm going to do that, and that's going to change my life.
What is
Icebreaker question.
What's that? Ask better questions?
It's good when we implement it.
Icebreaker.
Icebreaker question. Got it?
It will be good when we implement it, what we learn.
That would help. Yeah, and oh, got it. Okay, cool. All right. So first things first.
Which page is this one?
Which page? Well, on me it's 12. It says 12 for me on here. 5, 6. Does anyone let me see.
It's 5-3 is where we'll put the page on.
Yeah, there you go. 5, 3. For some reason it says 12. Maybe it's selectable. I don't know. All right.
Well, we don't have that, we don't have this particular page.
Okay, well, you will, we'll get there.
Oh, well, I'm among the 354 pages.
Oh, yeah, so go to section 5 then, so when you do control F and do lead generation, you should, or section 5, you should see that. Okay.
Like 74 or something like that.
So let's first talk about what you already know about lead generation, okay, so let's go to. There we go. My fear of failure was greater than my fear of lead generation. So. Let's talk about this. What is this? Mindset. We've talked about mindset before, haven't we? Okay, good. So. This quote clarifies that lead generation is job number 1, even if there's a fear around doing it. It's the activity along with lead follow-up, which is covered later. It keeps us from failing and instead allows us to prosper. So never stop lead generating for the rest of your career in business and real estate, period. All right. Is your fear of failure greater than lead generation? What hurts more? The fear of failure to you? Or the fear of actually talking to people, which is scary. I'm sure they're both scary to some extent, right? Failure. Who here says fear of lead generation is greater than fear of failing? Really? Why?
I don't know, I guess, just not knowing what to say to people, you know, that's what role playing and all that's good for, you know, so.
I'm glad you brought that up. So when it comes to like scripts that we provide, and I think I've given to most of you, but I don't already remember, you know, get this class up about the people. When it comes to the scripts, right, you want to find your niche. When you find your niche, like for me, it was expired, I read through all the different expired scripts that I liked. And when I found 1 or 2 that I liked really well, I would read through it 7 to 12 times. Why? Because I'm identifying the message in a certain way that it's being described, so I should then turn that into a conversation, right? So for instance, right now, you saw me reading, which is fine, but then you also hear me talking without a script written, right? That means I have the knowledge of what message I'm trying to deliver to you guys, which makes this a very good conversation, right? Unlike if I were to just be with the book.
Yeah.
Let's begin today's discussion with mindset. You see the difference? Okay, so when it comes down to that, right, you need to know what message you're trying to deliver to better suit the needs of not only what you're trying to accomplish to hit your goal, but to also find the needs, doing the needs analysis with said clients, sphere of influence, and so on. But if you don't know what to say, then you need to identify the scripts, right? And then when you have the scripts, how do you perfect the conversation? Role playing with each other, right? Simple. Believe it or not, it's not really rocket science. It's actually, it's quite simple. The beauty is in the simplicity with all this. We just have to do the work, right?
Yeah.
And Gary Keller says one of my favorite quotes. He just gotta remember it precisely. He says, you know what? Better yet, I'm gonna play it for you, because I know exactly where to find it. I'm gonna let Gary talk for a second, okay? So one of the things Gary said was this. Let's see, where's my boy? Right there, change is inevitable, participation is optional. Change is inevitable.
Mhm.
The clients, the sphere, that everybody that you reach out to, they're gonna work with a realtor at some point.
Mhm.
Your lead generation, it's optional. But it will determine how many of those people you work with. And there's always a shifting market. Change is inevitable, but participation in this industry and the key feature lead generation, that's optional. Are you gonna make it optional? Or are you gonna actually do it to adapt and charge through the storm? No matter what the economic state of the world or industry looks like. People will always buy and sell. People were buying in the recession, no way, right?
They have to, because you need a place to live.
People were buying in COVID, even though we were non-essential. So what's your excuse, right? So you first learned the 6 core competencies in session 2. That was a fun one. You guys remember that? So lead generation is job number 1. Leads fuel your business like gasoline or electricity fuels your vehicle depending on what you drive, right? So the leads that fuel your business helps you reach the goals you have set for yourself. The more leads you have, the more business and success you can have. Is it a guarantee? No, it's a numbers game, right? So the more people you talk to, the higher the statistic of you closing a deal or more deals continues to rise. It's who you're having a conversation with. And guys, I know it says add 10 people to your database every single day. At the very bare minimum, have at least 10 conversations a day. Right? Now, if you can get up to 10 in your database, that's awesome. Do that, but at least talk to 10 different people and introduce yourself. Right? Because if I saw you, like, let's say you and I are waiting at a coffee shop together, right? We just ordered coffee, we're waiting for our coffee, I'm just on my phone. You're just gonna be standing there and be on my phone, most people do, yeah, it's just because you're like, why is this person knocking, right? You don't think that, but unless you find some common, oh, hey, what'd you get? Oh, I got the cappuccino, oh, okay, yeah, well, what do you recommend? I've been here once or twice, maybe you've been there a million times. Oh, well, what's your favorite thing to do here? Have that conversation and then build the relationship. Oh, by the way, I'm Chris, so nice to meet you, Chris, right? So, oh, by the way, I'm in real estate. Right, I know I'm just gonna throw that one in, coffee place, I know, very cliche. But anyways, wanted to give you my business card, so I don't know if you're in the position to ever buy, sell, or invest. If not, hey, I'd love to know who you know, so that maybe I can help them out, because my goal this year is to help 10 different fellows. And you know what, just for helping me out, I'd like to buy your next cup of coffee, you know that. I don't know, like.
They're $10 now, dear, they're $10. Plus, you don't know they have a bunch of other people that buy.
You do, well, great, and the more people hear you, hey, I might need a realtor, you never know. But here's the thing, guys, the whole saying, it takes money to make money, probably came from this industry, so. It's okay to put a little capital out there to see a return, so. But anyways, lead generation, it includes talking to people about buying, selling real estate daily, again, how many? At least 10. Capturing accurate contact information, ooh,
Yeah.
this is a big one, right? This includes name, phone number, email, home address, and any other information the person is willing to give you. But at the very bare minimum, get their name, first and last typically helps. Phone number and an email, right? So you don't want to just be like at a coffee shop, hey, yeah, Alicia, good to meet you, where do you live? You're like,
Yeah.
know your audience.
Yeah.
Right? Know who you're talking, like be appropriate and professional. Okay? So here we go. It is understandable that there is a lot of fear around lead generation, even though we all know it to be the most important aspect of our real estate career and our business. And guess what, you guys? These right here are the fears and myths that most agents have. I think lead generation is really difficult. Why? Common answer to the why is the fear of rejection. Get rejected, that sucks. There's my feelings. People don't like me. It puts me in a mindset like, oh no, I'm depressed now. It happens. Now, I'm not trying to say that like to make fun of it. People actually go through that. And guys, it's okay. Rejection is natural, right? It just means you're one step closer, optimistically, to finding your next lead that wants to work with you. There's 33 million people in California. I mean, I'm sure the numbers are rising every single day, but there's someone out there. There's at least over 100 people, I'm sure, that want to work with you. And some of them don't even know you exist.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's okay. Next, I don't have time to lead generate. Ooh, you don't. Well, that's where time management comes in. As I mentioned, the right time management and time blocking, you make time. You all make time to be here for the days that we're not doing this, Friday, Wednesday. 2 hours, spend 2 hours from 2 to 4 on the days that you're not in at night, you generate it. And don't let time be an excuse, because it isn't. We all get 24 hours in a day. How we utilize that is up to you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
That's,
but, yeah.
well, that's about to be BS because I'm
Exactly.
sending you scripts.
Yeah.
I'm getting you guys what to say.
Yeah, I need scripts.
Okay, if you guys don't have scripts for me, email me at the end of class and I will provide you with 4 things. I'll provide you with the Ignite scripts. I will provide you with MAPS coaching scripts. I will provide you with KW universities working with buyers and working with sellers. They have scripts in there as well. But guys, don't just use all the different scripts that they have, find the one that makes you feel the most comfortable, like, I feel like I can do this, right? That's where you find it is, you can read through all of them if you want, but find the one that you feel you wanna work with. And you have to say it word for word, hell no.
Are those for like cold calling?
Yeah, not just that, it's cold calling, door knocking.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, when you identify the message that you're trying to deliver, you can deliver that on the phone or at Lowe's, you know, really, honestly. So find the message, and again, role play with each other too, because guess what? The people that you role play with, they're buyers and sellers too. They're realtors, yeah, we know that, right? We know that they're realtors. But in the moment that you're role playing, they're taking that hat off for you. So role play daily. If you guys are doing that, shame on you, do it. Okay? Okay, next, I'm afraid of making mistakes. We're all gonna make, who here has never made a mistake in their life?
Yeah, they are acceptable mistakes.
Are we all perfect?
No.
Okay, what do we do with those mistakes? Do we learn from them?
Yep.
Do we try not to repeat them?
Yep.
Do we grow from them? Do we find ways to perfect ourselves by those mistakes? Okay, well, lead generation and real estate is no different. So if you're coming in with that mentality, you guys, you've already done all this, right? You guys have built relationships prior to coming to real estate, right? In fact, who here has a cell phone with 0 contacts in it?
Nobody.
Okay, so what does that tell you? You lead gen before. Do you have friends that aren't family members? Have you made a friend before? You lead generated them into your personal world. And they've accepted you and you them. The same thing applies here. The only difference is it's business.
Professional.
Professional versus personal, but the concept's the same. Does that make sense? Okay,
Can I ask a question?
you just did. I'm just kidding, go ahead.
Second one.
My, one of the fear that I have is about regeneration is I wanna do door knocking.
You're not in.
About door knocking, how do you know? That person you are door knocking is
I don't.
scary.
I'm really scared.
I mean, like.
How you gonna not like? Well, you're right, cause you don't wanna knock on like Jeffrey Dahmer's door, right? Hey, come on in. Yeah. Glad you came. No, when I lead generated in the office by cold calling, I'm doing my own thing. Every time I went door knocking, he brings up one. It's a safety precaution, even I.
I'm going both.
Well, men are different.
Every time you.
Not according to Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, yeah.
I was
I'll tell you
more
that.
So you don't wanna separate the sexes here, okay? So you wanna be able to be safe in an environment at all times, especially when you're approaching other people's homes. You don't know what's in there, you don't know what they have, you always wanna put yourself in a safe environment. So guess what? There's other realtors in this room that you can partner with to door knock with you after you role play. Mind blowing, I know. Right.
Another question is there
Yes.
any,
Yeah, you're good.
any area or like app or any information about like this?
Neighborhood, who's that? Absolutely. So I've got 2 recommendations for you. Number 1 is title rep. Get with a title rep to help create what's called a farm. A farm is a specific neighborhood in which you become the area expert of. Next, meganslaw.com or .org or .gov or whatever the hell, just Megan's Law. Because you wanna find out who all the sexual offenders are in that area and try to avoid it if you can, right?
And that's common knowledge, right, Megan's?
You would think
Yeah.
it's
Public.
it's
Public.
common sense, but not everything is. I mean, what was it, common sense isn't so common,
Yeah.
something like that, you get my point, okay. So, Megan's Law, title rep, best friends. Okay, next thing you know, it's, yeah, you.
And Title has, they have an app that you can,
Totally.
specifically for door knocking, so you.
There you go.
I
So you can,
my name.
Before you knock on the door, you can see like who's the owner
Yeah, hey,
and keep notes.
right, so you can be like, hey, you're Jamie, right? Who the hell are you? Get off my property. Hey, all right, take this flyer before I leave, don't shoot me. I mean, they're all, you're gonna have some different experiences, right? But when I did it, yeah, I kind of knew the name, you know, but I was just like, hey, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm the local realtor here. I don't know if you haven't heard of me, you will. Right, I just make it fun. But anyways, I just want to, you know, hand this out to you, and if you know of anybody, I'm looking to help families this year, and also, when it comes to some of the listings that I'm gonna be taking on too. You're gonna see me a lot, because I'll be dropping off like invitations to some of the open houses, and by the way, speaking of the open houses that I do here, that'll give you an opportunity when you see one of mine to help choose who your neighbor is. So whoever you know that you wanna bring in the neighborhood, just let me know and I'll be happy to help facilitate that. So but anyways, here's my card. I don't wanna take your time. But I love, you know. Like, oh, okay, and sometimes I'll start asking questions, cause you know, when I like to come off like I'm not like trying to get their information, but like, well, let's talk about, okay, guys, well then with your permission, I'd love to follow up and, you know. Set a time where we can sit down or whatever it may be, and that's where you wanna list like phone, and obviously, yeah, their address gives open the door, right? But you wanna start asking the right questions, right? Phone number, email, first and last name, right? And what are some of the basic needs that you're looking to do? Like, you're looking to buy, you're looking to relocate, you know, because I wanna go ahead and make sure that when we do meet. I'm well prepared, right? So believe it or not, when you do that, you really don't realize how much fun it is, because you're like, I thought this is gonna be really scary. But then people are like, oh, shit, people are really nice in this neighborhood. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised. So, with that being said, all right. Going to the fears and myths, kind of backtracking to this a little bit. So, I think lead generation is really difficult. I was confusing effort with enjoyment, which is what I said. Once you realize how nice people actually are, because guess what? Some people have bad days and they take it out on you. It's not your fault. It's not you, right? They're having a day. We all have them. How many times where you're like, I don't talk to anybody today. Leave me alone. The next person I see that says one word to me, right? It's not your fault, right? We've all had those conversations in our own heads. Lead generation is actually easy. It's just not fun. It can be though. It can be. It depends on your. Like, first of all, remember how we talked about passion last time? You have a passion for this, you can geek out doing what you do. Right? When people talk about real estate, God, that's awesome, guys, look at that, right? Like, you see when someone, yeah, you get excited, they get excited with you. Next one, I don't have time to lead generate. I had an issue of making time to lead generate and protecting that time. That's where, going back to your original question, protecting your time, right? Protecting it from what? Distractions. And how do you do that? You have to understand which is more important. The life you can live prospering off lead generating and building a successful business versus not. I don't know what to say. Well, how to get on the path of mastering the dialogue skills needed in the business, which is what, like I said, talking about what conversations to have within the scripts. Next, I'm afraid of making mistakes. I found that lead generation is nothing more than a set of tasks and skills that are well documented. So lead generation is like going to the gym, right? You're trying to lose weight, you muscle, you tone, right? You have a goal. No different than you have a goal in real estate. And then you actually physically have to do that task to change your body, right? So if you're doing that, what's different about going to the gym and spend, because when you're at the gym, they take calls, they get meetings, or you there working out for the hour or two that you're there. And that's all you're doing. You're in your zone, right? You're not letting any distractions happen at the thing, at the gym. You're in your own zone. So if you're in your own zone at the gym, why can't you have that same discipline when it comes to something that's going to make you money? The gym is going to help you be healthy. It's going to help you transform your body and help you hit your physical goals, right? But being in a bunker mode and lead generating is going to do the same thing, but money wise. Does that make sense? Because you're giving money to your gym and you're time blocking your time at the gym and you're staying focused at the gym. But you're spending money doing it. So why don't you do something that's going to bring in money with that same level of mental discipline? Make sense? Okay. God, I love this section. This one's fun, okay. Okay, lead generation is the number one key to being successful in real estate. It doesn't matter how great you are at selling houses. Well, it kind of does, but remember, in order to back that statement up, right, and you want to be really good at selling houses, one of the key features you can do under lead generation is contracts, okay, anyways, different tangents. If no one knows you're in the business of selling houses, and if they do not feel connected to you in the way that has them reaching out when they are ready to sell, why are you in real estate? Why are you in this business if no one knows you're in real estate? You know what some people do when they go out? Put a name tag on. I wear a t-shirt. He wears a t-shirt. You can do a t-shirt and a name tag. You always carry your business card in your pocket. Oh, hey, you're a realtor? Sign it.
And sometimes when people they see that t-shirt, they get.
Well, then that means they're not right.
Yeah.
And sometimes some people are like, hey. You know, but I like to do it subtle. Name tag's good enough. Just name tags. People are like, what do they do? Keller things. Oh. Hey, you're with Keller Williams? I'm role playing that.
Oh.
Hey, you're with Keller Williams? Should I say realtor?
Yes,
How long you been selling real estate for?
12 years.
You like it?
Yes,
Okay. So do you specialize in anything in particular?
Yes,
What?
residential,
Residential, okay. Okay. You have a car?
yes, of course.
That's where you give you the car, right?
Yeah.
Right, cause sometimes they'll be vague like that, sometimes like, well, you know, I'm thinking about buying or selling, you know, maybe I'll give you a call. You know, give you a car. You know? And so what do you do? Also, with your permission, like, keep your information down too, and that way I can add you to my database, in case you don't call, at least you can see some of the things that I supposed to my clients.
Yeah,
Sometimes they'll say yes, sometimes like, no, let me just give you a call, okay, no problem. Like week 2 later, hey, I met you at Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, right? And I don't know if you remember me, we were standing in line, but anyways, I'm ready to have a conversation. It happens, it's happened to me.
This is a miracle. I wish I could find a customer like you.
Right place, right time. It's happened, no, genuinely, that's happening.
Does it actually happen?
No, hello,
It does?
it's a life, I'm telling you from experience, yes, it does.
there's a thing called the sold signs challenge.
Yeah.
And it's where realtors will carry, you know, like the little sold signs. They'll put them like in their purse, sticking out, and just carry it around with them for a whole week.
Really?
And we did that on document agents and people would get conversations from it, you know.
It's a form of peacocking. In a way. If you guys don't know what that means, look it up. But anyways, that's a great example, and guys, lead generation, there's so many different ways to do it. One of the things that I used to do is I partnered with a local like Pampa Mexican restaurant. Where, you know, we'd advertise on their social media, they'd be on ours, it'd be like, hey, we're doing a drawing, come on down, you know, eat it. McAllister or whatever the hell the restaurant is, right? And we're doing a drawing, so for those of you who are looking to buy, sell, or invest, or you know someone who is, drop your business card in here, we're gonna do a raffle, whoever wins, I'm the first day to buy you a free lunch, right? And then all the runner-ups will get the secondary prize, which is like, I'll buy you a coffee or something, right? And guess what, people would come and go out there. Information, whether on a piece of paper or whatever, and what are they doing? They're basically giving me information within my database, giving me the contact information. Right?
Does that actually, so when they give you the business card, you can add that to your, there's no like.
Yes, because in the post, I'll put a little disclaimer, you know, by putting your business card in, you're allowing me to go into the database for the file. So it's a little fine print. Right, so because you want it, right, everything has to be disclosed. So. I've got great news. That's what it says. It's funny. You already have 2 key components to lead generation. A sphere of influence, or SOI, and a database. Now, what is your database? Command. Database, where you put information to do it. Let it work for you. Number 2, well, number 1, sphere of influence, which is what?
Acquaintances, relatives, and friends.
Friends, family members, colleagues, acquaintances. Is there someone in your phone book right now that will answer your call because they know it's you?
Yes,
Does that person that you said yes to have a sphere of people that you don't know?
yes.
Is it possible that they would help market you by saying, hey, I'm gonna share a post on my Facebook or Instagram about you because you're my friend, I like you, and I wanna help you?
Yes,
Okay. Do you think that's another way of building your database without having to spend money on leads? Let the people work for you because they like and care about you. You guys do it all the time. Who's written a very nice Yelp review for a business because they experienced great service? Or had a good experience? Or because a friend or family member asked them to, and you said, yeah, why not? Who's done that? How many times, it's like asking, hey, you know, applying for a job, can you match you as a referral? Okay, well, you want me to talk crap about you and tell them the truth, or you want me to just be nice? You know how friends will say that to each other, right? Obviously, it's a joke, but they're all always gonna be like, hey, I'm messing with people, yeah, look, I mean, you have those types of relationships or stupid friends, right? They're willing to help you out, okay? So with your phone, how many people have more than 100 contacts? That is not a business, but is a personal relationship that you have. Or you're on Facebook or Instagram. You guys got more than 100?
Yeah.
Is that fair? Okay, so let's say 100 of them have 5 or 10 people each that might be willing to buy, sell, or invest, right? So let's use 5 as a low number. You got 100 people, 5 of them have, no, you have 100 people, each of them have 5 people, okay? 5 times 100 is what? 500. So there's 500 ready to go warm leads that they can connect to. You see how using your sphere and lead generating to them, and by the way, guys, when you lead generate to them, you can fall on your face a little bit and be transparent. But when it comes down to creating a relationship, hey, you know, I met you through, you know, hey, Jamie, I was, for instance, hey, Jamie, it's Chris Baker, Telehomes, Alicia, give me your contact information. Said you're hopefully expecting my call by any years, I wanted to reach out, you can call and set up a time to where you and I can sit down and talk about your real estate needs. All right, it's quick, it's simple, and it's a warm lead, right? Because typically the people that they help refer you to will be warm. Okay? Okay. Next, that's the why income opportunities. Oh, see, it's like I know this, right? Except me giving you an example is one thing, but giving you the actual breakdown is another. So everybody, right now, get out your phones and go to your contacts, because we're gonna do a little math here. Okay? Okay. Now I want you to scroll down to the bottom, and at the bottom of your contact list, you should find the total number of contacts in your phone. Write that number down on line A in your participant guide, sorry. How many do we got? In fact, let's see who's got the most.
I don't know.
1159, who's got more than 1159? You, how many you got? 9? 92?
902.
902. How many you got?
Like 209.
209? That's okay. 209, you got more than 100.
Yeah.
That's a great start. What do you got?
189.
189?
I'd like to go for my contacts and delete.
Well, we're gonna build that database up a little bit. Jamie, how many you got?
764.
How many you got, Lisa? 361. All right. I was about the same number as you guys when I started. I've been in real estate for 10 years. You wanna know how many I got? Stupid number.
How many?
3,742.
Wow.
10 years, 3,000, and I do the same thing, I filter them.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recommend like having 2 separate numbers? 'Cause
You
I'm
can.
starting to like lose track, the text and everything's getting confusing from personal to business.
If you're like me, and you like to keep things organized, I would. Because that way, you know, when that other phone is blown up or that other number is blown up, you know that's strictly a business call.
Yeah.
So I said, I would. I absolutely would.
Like.
So-
You just get like a
So you
Google
recommend
number, though, right?
What's that? You can have two different phones or two different numbers, but I mean, two phones work. Some people have two phones. It depends on your budget. I'm not gonna recommend something that's beyond the budget. It's just, if you wanna have, there's apps that give you a secondary phone number that you can use strictly for that. Like Text Now is one. I think it's like a purple one you can do if you don't wanna buy a secondary phone. It'll give you a phone number and you get the area code, and as long as you use it, it doesn't charge you. So I think it's called Text Now. Or you just get a secondary phone, right?
You know what I just thought about right now?
What's that?
Maybe like having a different ringtone for like your business and your family members, if that would help, like.
I mean, I think with ringtones, you gotta like. Individualize each one, so.
Well, when you're putting the information in down, you can change the ringtone.
You can, like, for instance, I kind of write too, like, for instance, I'll give you an example of what I do, because I use one, just, you know. So in the contacts list, right, you have. Name, first name, last name, and company is what it says, right? So what I do is, so I do keywords, so in, if you have an iPhone, like if I type in SS. It just says Keller Room South Bay, so I know it's South Bay, right? So I can go through and now it's all organized. This is my database for all my South Bay people.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? Just because I put that into the company list. So I organize it differently by having the same number, because I don't, right?
Yeah, because I tried having two different phones, two different lines in one phone,
So,
and it just didn't, it made no, like, no distinction or nothing.
so you can do like real estate buyers, real estate sellers and so forth, but if you just type in real estate and go. All everyone real estate, but if you type in real estate buyers, it'll just show you the ones on the buyer list. You can organize it that way depending on how you put them in your contact, yes.
Chris,
Hey guys, this one, because it's my favorite and we're going off on canvas and because I'm so passionate about lead generation, we might go over 4 o'clock, so just be, okay?
I agree with what you're saying,
Yeah.
but in my opinion,
Yeah.
having data from people, you're gonna have relationship with them.
Exactly.
Like I have here in my command, 150 contacts.
Mhm.
Those are people, I met them in US since 3 years.
Yeah,
But in my iPhone,
Yeah.
which is in my Microsoft Outlook, I sync it, I have 6,000.
there you go.
Those people are from Europe and overseas. I cannot benefit. from
There
them.
is-
So I'm using them only for social media.
Which is fine.
Followers, but I can't sell them.
There's literally an unlimited amount of ways for you to organize.
With them to have full contact. By meeting
Right.
10 people per day, how am I gonna ask with them? I mean, today I went to the bank. To the guy that I used to put money.
Yeah.
I told him,
Tell
Ernesto, you're not following me. I told him previously, he couldn't take his phone in bank
Is he
number, it's not allowed.
Yeah.
I told him, just give me your number. I'll text you. I texted him, I sent it him.
Yeah.
And barely I got his, after 3 attempts. So it's not
Sometimes-
easy to get, but it's very easy to give cards.
Okay.
People, they throw that card.
So here's the thing,
One mistake, not here.
so you brought up a very important point.
So those.
When you're lead generating or door knocking. Or talking to your bank teller. Are you going to get them at the very first try? Some, yes, most, no. But some will say, contact me later, or call me another day, or, you know, give me a call in 6 months, right? They're giving you permission to keep them in the database, but they might not be like ready to go right now. If it took you 3 attempts to just tell your bank teller, guess what? You got them.
Yeah.
Because now I think he felt comfortable at that point, saying, you know what, he's consistent, I like him, go ahead, why not? Because sometimes they need to see the consistency. And the passion that you have, to say, you know what, I'm finally gonna, you know what, yeah, you, okay, this, you can have it now, you've earned it. Sometimes you have to earn the trust and the relationship with people. And at that point, it looks like you finally earned it.
You know, if we don't discuss, we don't find solutions for things. There
Correct.
are objections and positive things or negatives also.
Exactly,
People, I send them email,
yeah,
okay? I see in the notifications in the comment, unsubscribe.
that's okay.
How many I'm getting to, it's not easy
Yeah.
to get them, you know?
It's alright, it's a numbers game. So let's dive into this, okay? So back to, you guys all have, how many people is in your contact list, right? So according to NAR, the typical person moves every 7 to 8 years. And according to the 2020 census, the home ownership rate in the US is 64.8%. If we can assume that 64.8% of your database is a homeowner and they will move out every 8 years, this means that about 8.1% or 0.081 of your database will buy, sell, invest in a home every 8 years, okay? So let's use these numbers to figure out how many people you already know who are going to buy or sell this year. To do this, multiply the number of contacts in your database by 0.081 and put the result on line B. So 250 times 0.81 is 20. So whatever your number is, write it down. Okay, are we with me so far? Okay. Go ahead and round down so we can be conservative, right? We always want to just go low. Anything above that, that's a bonus, that's extra credit. But round down. In this example on the slide, if you know 250 people, then it's likely that 20 of them will buy or sell a house this year. It's likely, it's confirmed enough, but more than likely, roughly 20 people will buy or sell this year. Now let's go further. Let's assume that of all the people in your SOI, 10% of them refer you a client. That seems doable, right? Maybe 10%. Okay. On line C, multiply your number of contacts by 0.1. This is how many referrals you would get if just 10% of the people you know referred you business. They pushed.
Not a big- Sorry, I can't.
No, you're good. Okay, are you guys with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now on line D, add line B to line C. You get your potential sales for this year just from your SOI and a pretty conservative number of people they could refer to you. In our example, it's 45 people. So, based on the number of contacts in the phone times 0.81% comes out to 20. But that same number, 10%, that's 25. So you add these two together, you get 45. So you have 45 potential closings this year off of that number. Now, who's already done the math and is done writing in number D? Raise your hand. Okay, what number did you get? 163 potential closings from now until the next 12 months. It's pretty good. What are you gonna do about it?
Reach out to them.
Reach out to them and lead.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, you guys with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's take the number of home sales by those you know and trust, and the people they could refer to you by multiplying the average commission here. The average commission is what? 2.5%?
Mhm.
Okay. Enter this on line E or use the estimate on the slide. Okay, so typical commission fee is like 2.5%, so they can say it's like $5,000. So if you look at the price point, you want to basically say my farm is in Torrance, and let's say Torrance is, we'll round up, say it's 800,000 times 2.5%, right? Whether you're capped or not, that's gonna be your take home. That's the number that you're gonna add there. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so if you wanna take this a step further to know how much that you can add up in gross commission, multiply D by our average commission to get, right, the number that you see here, and enter this on line F. So if the average commission in your farm, let's say, is $12,000, okay? Say $12,000 times the other amount, that's how much money is your potential income to earn in the next 12 months. Make sense?
Mhm.
So that's how much money is available just based on what's in your phone. Isn't that crazy?
Mhm.
Isn't that wild? Opportunity is everywhere, guys. The amount of people in your phone, are they only in your phone? Or are they in other people's phone as well? Could they be in other realtors' phone book also? If you're not reaching out to them, someone in this industry is. Who's gonna capitalize on it? Only you, right? Okay. Now. Going to the next. These should be ahas for you, by the way, so when I go to that part, which is. I want some ahas. Okay, your database. Now, we've covered how many people you have in your phone and how many potential sales they represent in the next 12 months. Your contact list is a database, okay? Your social media is another potential database. Your command system is another database. If we are going to be in a relationship with our contact in a professional sense, we need to have them organized and accessible in a smart database. Though your phone may be smart, it's unlikely that your database is. Yet, at least. So today we will touch a bit on feeding your database, and in the next session, which I'm not going to be teaching, we'll see another one, we will cover how to make your database smart. You have a sphere of influence, a database, and you've been generating leads from that database by communicating with them strategically. You guys reach out to people in your database and ask them out dinner or lunch or, social events or singing happy birthday or whatever it may be, right? You guys are already in communication with these people. Now it's time to take them from personal to professional. Okay? So, with that being said, what are you guys doing with your sphere to let them know you're in real estate? Because remember, guys, the biggest thing to capitalize on your sphere of influence is capitalize on how many of them know you do what you do, right? You had how many in your database? 204? 209? Out of the 209 people in your phone book, how many of them genuinely know you're in real estate?
They call them one. All of them.
All 209 people know you are in real estate.
Yeah, so, yeah.
That's excellent. Now, because they know, how many are willing to help you grow your business by putting your name out there? Or
Well,
writing your
some
test?
of them are potential clients already. We're like, I'm just keeping up with them.
Really?
Yeah.
What a concept! Isn't that crazy, right? Now, have you asked them to, think about you when they talk about real estate to someone else, in the sense that they have a friend, or they go get their nails done, do their hair, or they go to see their barber, and, oh man, my barber's like, yeah, I'm thinking about looking for a house, really? Oh shit, what? Oh boy, he's a realtor, I mean, I can have him reach out to you, I can give you, give him your contact info, You think people would be willing to have those conversations? Only if it's top of mind. Now, 209 people know you're in real estate. Okay? And because they know you're in real estate, did they all give you permission to be added to your database?
Did they
He
what?
already has their number.
No, I know that.
To their data.
To your database, so that you can send them emails. Do you have all their emails? How many emails of the 209 do you have? It's best you find out. Because if you're gonna put them on command will tell you what the health of your database is. And as you click each individual person, what the health of that individual is, in terms of not their actual health, but in terms of the data that you measure based on that person. Right? Therefore, when I ask you, how many emails do you have? And your database shows all like the little different categories, email 100%, that means you have 100% of the people in your database's emails or phone numbers. You wanna bring that up. So now you know what you're lacking. They know you're in real estate, but you don't have all their information. Which means you haven't asked them if they can be put onto the command or your database to get emails and drifts. Because if they're not on the drifts, if they're not on the campaign, seeing your emails, seeing your name pop up on emails, even when you don't talk to them on the daily basis, guess what? How are they gonna stay top of mind? They won't. Eventually, life happens and they'll forget because it's not a necessity for them right now, especially if they're on a 7-8 year cycle. I don't need a home. I'm chilling in mine. I just bought mine 2 years ago, right? But if someone says, oh, they're looking for a home, oh, you should talk to a realtor. Oh, who was my realtor? See what I'm saying? You don't want that to happen. Oh yeah, I got my boy. I get his emails all the time. Why don't you give him a call? Hey, Alicia. My name's Chris. We've never met, but I was referred to you by Jamie. He apparently sold you a house, or whatever. People do that, right? But they're not gonna know you're in business if you're not top of mind. So for instance, if I'm at my barber And I have Jamie sell my house, and I get his email drips every week or every month, whatever, and I see, I mean, sometimes I get emails from people, I don't even know who the hell they are, but I know what they do because I see it so consistently, so I'm saying? So when I think, yeah, shit, I think I'm gonna get an email, let me check, right? Sometimes I laugh, but if he's saying consistent with me, and you're my barber, cutting my hair, and you're talking to the other barbers about selling your house, I'm gonna be like, well, do you have a realtor? No, you should talk to my boy Jimmy, he did such a great job selling my house. I'm going to offer his services without him knowing, because he did such a great job. But the only reason I'm gonna offer that is because I remembered him, because I get his emails, because I get his emails, I hear the conversation, I'm gonna be like, hey, you should talk to him.
You know, there are people, they're nonchalant, other people, they do care, Chris. Depend.
Yeah.
I have relatives that they like me and they love me, they wanna help me, but. It's not their, I mean, priority, you know, to.
It's not a priority,
And
no, I know, but that's why you have to stay top of mind with these email groups.
I have their emails, I
Yeah.
send them, and I have a doctor last time when I called during the calls.
Yeah,
I texted them, he said, I'm in the plane now,
yeah,
when I get back, I'll call. Today he replied me, he said, imagine, he's a doctor, chiropractor. Hey Jack, sorry, I haven't been in touch, been getting real estate this week via email. And I will definitely keep you in mind and also spread the word on your behalf. My doctor, my relative doesn't do this, but he doesn't care more than my relative.
sometimes families like that, I know a realtor,
Yeah, I mean.
I know-
Let's catch up.
I know a realtor, his mother bought a house and didn't even use them. It's our mother,
That's ridiculous.
It's not like.
it's ridiculous, but it just goes to show. Put the word out, because guess what, if your family's not gonna do it, but your doctor is,
Imagine.
it's still something. It's better than not having anyone do that for you. You get my point? Okay, guys, my favorite section, all of you should be giving me an aha right now. This is my favorite subject,
It's the acronym of what?
look that up. Alright, we've got an aha, come on, shout it out, yeah.
I think the main one is like how much potential business there is in my sphere.
Yeah. Because guys, sometimes, and you've been in real estate longer than I have. So your sphere and people in your database. Let's be honest, sometimes we forget. We forget to touch base with people around here. So this is just a good reminder, and I'm glad you brought that up, to just dive back into that and remind them that we're in real estate. I know you're real estate, some people, just making sure you know. You know, and not being like, oh, maybe I'll try something, you know, you're gonna make it fun. You never know. You never, know. What else? Give me another aha.
I have an
Hit me.
My aha was coming from a positive mindset as opposed to from scarcity, so. I used to think, oh my god, I got it like lead generation, so I can make money, and now the aha was. I need to make my dreams come true, so that's my why of lead generating, and. It's a different mindset, it's a different motive, and it's a different motivation. And then you talk to people in a different way, as opposed to, oh my god, I gotta sell.
Yeah.
Like, I need to like help you get into it.
Exactly. You're not being pushy, you're being friendly. I like that. Give me one more. Come on. Yeah.
So I was prior service and a lot of my contacts were just all over the place, like one person here, one person there, and so. We tend to lose connection. I tend to lose a lot of connection with the contacts in my phone. So I always felt like, oh, can I call this person and let them know? Or is it has time flew too much and I can't call them because they're gonna be like, what the hell is she calling me?
Because now it seems like, oh, well, we haven't talked in a while now, all of a sudden you're calling, right?
So I have that problem a lot.
No, so that's where you become humble and be like, look, I know we haven't talked in a while, you know, that's my fault, you know?
Yeah,
And so I'd like to catch up and, you know, let's have lunch, go grab a
yeah,
drink.
it's really
Go
not
ahead.
making sense.
When it comes to that, I ain't talking about real estate, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I moved out to, so I'd love to, but unless you're in Florida, I just moved to Florida, you moved to Florida, what the heck, I'm
Yeah.
awesome. Then you think, shit.
And then they might ask, oh, well, what you doing down there?
Never know, if you have a good enough conversation, you let them ask you a question.
Right.
Well, it's funny that you asked, well, I'm in real estate, and quite frankly, I'm looking to help 10 families this year, who do you know? I mean, they're gonna be, cause now you've already broken the ice, right? Doesn't hurt to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
But steer the conversation to where they ask it so that you can be set up to ask it yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's all wordplay and fun. So now you've already begun lead generating. You have a database and an SOI. So let's dig into the most important model in your business, the lead generation model. Even further. Lead generation, you will hear this over and over and over and over again throughout your career, through this course, through this day, through Ignite, until you decide to leave real estate. Okay? It's really important that this is the most important activity that you do. Okay? It's the first thing you need to know to start your real estate business, and it's the last thing you will give up doing yourself if you decide to start a team and leverage your business to the point that you are no longer involved in the day-to-day running of it, which, oh my God, that's where I geek out. Building a business, that imagine now you got lead generation in your team, your business, or where people are doing it for you, and all you do is go into the appointment yourself. That's it. It happens. That's my favorite part of lead generation, is the leverage. It's awesome. That's why I love building teams. It's so fun. Okay, now think about that. Okay, next one. Yeah, that sells us. Okay. Cool. So here we go. As you learned, Keller Williams has a model for everything. Crazy, right? Now, it makes sense. There would be a model for your number one job of lead generation. Though it may look complicated, it's about one thing: relationships. You are in the relationship business. The more relationships you have, the more business you have. This model tells us how to get in a relationship with people, stay in relationship with people, right? And be the real estate expert of choice to buy and sell real estate. Now, this is the model. Let's break it down. Now, the very lid, prospecting and marketing are lead generating activities that deliver leads into your database, into your business. So lead capture by prospecting, door knocking, cold calling, right? Networking events, marketing, emails, door hangers, mailers, puts people into your database. Okay. So lead generation is simply getting people into the database so you can track your relationship with them. As you can see at the top, there's obviously prospecting and marketing. You can never have too many leads. A lot of leads or a quantity of leads gives you good quality leads. You want more, because guess what? You can have 1,000 people in your database, right? Your database, man, will help whether or not the ones that are serious, the ones that are ready to go right now, the ones that are ready to go in 6 months. They're all going to be filtered. Okay, and it's how you filter them. But most importantly, put people into your database. All right, next. It is a best practice to generate leads through a prospecting base, marketing enhanced approach. So prospecting is proactive, it's direct. You're actively searching for leads. It's like fishing. Right? Prospecting can be low cost to no cost method. That's by doing what? SOI. Yields a quantity of leads, which in turn gives you quality leads. Establishes personal relationships, like my man over here with his doctor. Keeps you in direct contact with the market of the moment. Right? And it increases your confidence and skills. Josh.
Yes.
How are you confident now versus 12 years ago when you first started?
How am I confident?
Has it grown? Are you more confident now than when you first started?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Are you more confident now than you were a year ago?
As far as like knowing the business of real estate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In general.
I'm still not very confident in prospecting.
Well, guys, we're in an industry where we must, until we retire, always be in a position to be coachable. To know that we don't know everything, we'll never know everything, because we're in an industry that so often changes. And sometimes even the basics of lead generation can be difficult for those who have more than 10 years in the business. And guess what, guys, that's okay.
You still believe door knocking now, it's practical, right?
Yes.
In 2024 and
Yes. Well, people don't answer their phones as much anymore, but some people do. You know, it's a lower percentage, but it still works, in my opinion.
And send emails to the properties.
Yeah, yes. Kevin and Leanne, that's how they do it, yes.
What do you think is more effective nowadays, door knocking or cold calling?
Both. Not one or the other, you time block or both. Because if you just focus on one, that's great, you're only gonna get a handful, but if you do both, then you're putting yourself out there to even more individuals. So don't just limit yourself to one source, do them all. You know, and then find the one that you're more comfortable with, and then do a test route, so for instance. You might cold call, he might door knock, right? But you also might door knock, he might cold call, but your return on cold calling might be higher than his, and his door knocking. Or marketing might be higher than yours, right? So do them all and find which one you're getting the most out of, and then if you're getting.
Successful in it.
Right, it's a trial and error, right? So if you find that, well, door knocking and sending out mailers is how I'm building my business, well, let that be your focal point. Because now you're spending time doing something that's giving you an even bigger return, but test them all, because you're not gonna know what you like or what's giving you the biggest return unless you do it. You know, so for instance, with marketing, right? Marketing, you are putting your information out there to attract leads, right? Through sources like social media or print ads, radio ads, promotional material, and we'll talk about more in other sessions, but as you can see, marketing is money intensive, it's passive, and it gives you long-term results. Prospecting is time sensitive, it's proactive and immediate results, right? When I say immediate results, if I'm cold calling on someone, and yeah, I'm interested in, it's funny that you actually called and brought that up. I was talking to, you know, husband or wife or whatever, about buying something, yeah, we'd like to know more about, you know, what our home's worth and have a conversation, that's immediate, right? By marketing, right, you're putting your name out there, and eventually someone's gonna be like, hey, it's like fishing, right? Marketing is like fishing, you're waiting for someone to bite the hook, right? So that's the difference between those two. Now, the market, so the market, your preferences, your budget, and your goals will usually dictate the types of lead generation you employ, which is going back to what I said. Trial and error, figure out which one's best for you. Top agents track their most productive lead source, which usually are sphere of influence, repeat business, referrals, and offline advertising. So direct mails, yard signs, you know, they see your name all the time. Oh man, I'm saying, like people drive by, I see your guys, I see Keller on it, I see your name all the time. You have a listing there, you have a listing there. It's like when people start to see your name in that neighborhood, that's another way for them to be like, okay, that's a trusted person, because that neighbor, that person, they use them. So they must be good at what they do, right? So you're gonna build that over time. Get a question?
Chris, now, at the beginning, all agents did this cold calling, phone calling. Now we see during Zooms or other places, those rainmakers or producers. Those 70% their income are referrals because they have signature. Now they are known in the market. How many should we do, not the prospecting, door knocking on those things? Because those people, they don't do it now. They just
Yeah,
have
they have people.
phone calls that they receive.
Right, some people have put their name out to their sphere so much so that their sphere built their business for them. And then those people experienced that referral, used you, liked you, and now they're repeat clients, well, they will refer you. So it only takes the people that we talked about in the graph that's in your phone book to really build your business and get it up and running at a very high level, right? Some people, that's all they do, you're right. But at the same time, but as you do that, you're generating income. That income can go toward marketing, different expenses, which are on an even larger scale, right? And so from there, as that grows, then you can build a team to let people do it for you. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a domino effect, depending on how big you want to grow in this industry. The sky is the limit, right? But it all starts with what? Lead gen, using your sphere of influence. It really does. So no single approach or method will bring you all the leads you need to reach your goals. A blended approach, to answer your question, works best. No matter your approach, you should always be offering some kind of value, which we talked about on Tuesday, in exchange for information. That information is what you need to continue the relationship. Also, that you won't rely on a single source of lead gen, which is, like I said, some people just focus on that. That's great. But most of you won't, right? So most of you will rely on multiple streams of lead generation, right? But you aren't going to do all of them. The most productive agents focus on their 3 to 5 top producing sources. Sphere, referral, past client, door knocking, mailers. That's an example, that's not all of them. But they will focus on anywhere between 3 to 5 different lead sourcing types to generate more leads into their database, okay? Now in Ignite, which you guys are in, we're going to focus mainly on prospecting because we know successful lead generation is prospecting based. Prospecting is also less expensive, and prospecting is what protects your business when the market slows down. Even more specifically, we will focus on prospecting with your SOI, okay? Because you want it to be cost effective, right? And the people in your database, no matter what the market looks like, exactly. So, next, let's see here, there we go. As you gather people's information through prospecting or marketing or have generated the lead in one source of another, the next step is to put that information into your database. A database is simply a container that holds the information for all the leads you have generated. If you're looking for a cost-effective tool to build out your smart database, Command is your cost-effective database to organize your leads. Command is more than a database. With this platform, you have access to interconnected tools and support you from lead to close, all while maintaining your relationships and finding out the health of the database with all the information added per person. Yes, sir.
On Command, can you put it where it could like just automatically send emails?
Yes. But what you want to do too is you want to tag them. Because then you can basically take the email campaigns and specifically tag it to a certain group. So like if you're talking about email campaign about what to do with your new home or whatever, right? You're not gonna send it to all the people, right? You're gonna send it to people that you sold homes to, or open house opportunities, or why choose you as a realtor? You want to tag each one on what they are, where they are, and what categories. Exactly, there's already templates on there, but you can customize one however you feel the need to. Okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sorry.
no, you're good.
Quick question.
Yes.
Or is a marketing campaign through the Command database? Is that what the smart plan is, or is that
Yes,
something?
that's smart plans. Correct. And we have templates, Keller Williams RI has templates, and then you can also search for specific things too. So if you want to do an open house mailer, you just type in open house on the search bar and you can see some that are already on it. Yes.
Is that something that only we control, or is that what's called Leroy Marketing?
You control it.
Does?
No, they help you and they help get you set up with that, but once you kind of get familiarized with the system, you're gonna start using the smart plans however you feel the need to use them.
Okay, so, sorry.
No, you're good. No, that's okay.
That's for the whole basics of Keller Williams technology where I'm getting stuck at, like.
Gotcha.
So, for that, like, for example, I think there are a whole 30-day challenge for new agents. One of those tasks that I'm guessing is coming from Leroy Marketing.
Yeah.
Like they 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah.
Is reach out to us to set up smart plans for your contacts. So I did.
Yeah.
What exactly does that mean? Like, are they going to be, do they basically give you access to the smart plans, which before I send out that request?
So they don't give you access to it, you already have access to
So
it.
that's what I didn't.
So if you type in smart plans and you click on create new smart plan.
Yeah.
Right, you're gonna see a search bar of different ones, you can type in whatever type of smart plan you want. Then you find the one, you can review them and preview them before you click on it, then you say, okay, I like this one, use this template. And then you can customize it however you need fit, and then once you have it the way you like, you go on to the next step. Where you can attach it to who you wanna send it out to, typically you can put like a tag on there, send it to this, and then it'll bounce out. And then it'll tell you how often you wanna send the mailer out, every day, every week, every month. And you get to kind of dictate that. So Scott Leroy is there to help set up the system for you, to help navigate you through that process. But you already have access to it right now, as we see here in the class.
As far as like actually setting up or sending the smart plans to like individual contacts you want,
Yes.
or like all the contacts, whatever it is. That is something that ends with you and you have to do, right? It's not
Correct.
something that's gonna be remarked.
Well, yeah, cause Scott and Roy, and let's say, I mean, we have 500 some agents in this office, right? And they're not gonna individually do that, they're gonna navigate you through it. The whole point of Scott and Roy is getting you set up and basically paving you the road and throwing you the car keys and saying, you're good. You just, once you learn how to use it, you'll know how to navigate. You know,
They sometimes they help you also.
yeah,
In
exactly.
case you have any, for instance, this one promote my app. I sent it, tested to me, I didn't receive it. They found the problem, I emailed them, they did it. Today I received this. Hi, I'm Jack Dujon, get latest property details right at your fingertips. On my app. So this, all my 114 people received it because the others, they don't have it.
Right. Question.
So I've been trying to work these smart plans now. I was on a team previously, but now I'm on my own.
Okay.
My other broker, she used a system Lofty.
Yeah.
And it was, I felt like it was way more advanced, there's a lot more smart planning.
Right, so you guys have the option to use whatever you feel is like good for your business. Command is just there, I mean, it's free, it's already there,
Yeah.
but if you feel there's something better, like some people, not everyone likes Command, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, but use a database, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you use Command or Lofty, or it doesn't matter. This is what matters, the basics of putting contacts into your database, that's all that matters. Right, find a way to do it, some people do it on an Excel sheet, which I think is ridiculous, but. You know, find a system that works for you, and if you don't already have a system like you do with Lofty, then for the rest of you, Command is gonna be right there ready to go for you, okay? So, with that being said. Okay, oh, this one I like. So a database, like we talked about, is a container that holds the information and relays the contacts. A smart database is also referred to as your data bank, which allows you to have planned and meaningful communication with your database. So like I said, it doesn't matter if it's Lofty, your top producer, or Command, it's all the same thing. Yeah, exactly. So this is your relationship management. Leads form relationships. Contacts strengthen existing relationships for you to go to step 3, which is cultivating contacts for conversation, interacting, and needs-based offerings. Okay, because we want to move them eventually to be what? A transaction. Exactly. Now, relationship management. Okay, we use terminology of leads and contacts to categorize people in our database. So far in our success system, you've been communicating with your sphere of influence, I hope, right? So people you know and who you know. These people are contacts with whom you have implicit permission to have two-way conversations. Like I said earlier, you all have someone that will answer your call and have a conversation, right? If I call one of my best friends who lives out of state, I'd be like, hey, give me about 5 minutes, let me talk to you about real estate. They'll listen. They will, whether it's what they're looking to do or not, because they're just, they're a good friend, right? That's a spirit. Leads are people who have shown interest in the services you offer and have provided a way for you to contact them, however that may be, okay? However, they have not yet engaged in a two-way conversation with you. What does that mean? A two-way conversation means I'm telling you about who I am. Okay, great, that's awesome. Thanks for telling me your real estate. How do you know when something comes up? That's a one-way convo. A two-way convo is when they're ready to sit down and have a conversation with you about their real estate needs. You had one about ability. That's a two-way conversation, right? So our database is organized into these two buckets, leads and contacts, because the way you communicate with each segment is unique. Now, leads are people who have earned the right to at least have a one-way conversation. A contact is people you held a two-way conversation with and whom you've established a value relationship with, right? Now, obviously, the people in your sphere, they are contacts because you can have two-way conversations about any topic, but once it gets to the professional aspect of having real estate, that's when it really becomes a true professional contact. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, relationship management. Now, relationships must be attended to, cared for, and cultivated. Do you guys have plants at home? If you don't feed the plants, water the plant, give it sunshine, what happens to it? You just put it in a corner, forget about it, it kind of rots and dies away. Well, that's the same thing with the relationship that you're talking about, right? You've been talking for years, right? Now, if a plant dies or a leaf falls out, can it still be saved? Okay, same thing with the leads that you haven't looked at for maybe a couple of years or a couple of months. Right? So as far as this goes, once you have a lead, you need to create a relationship with that person. For contacts you want to sustain and strengthen your relationship with, and obviously it's allow them to help you build your business. So this is just an introduction into what sustaining relationships look like, since we have a whole section on lead follow-up later in the night. We're going to talk about this more, but just know that it's very important to water your leads, metaphorically speaking. Okay. Sustaining our relationship is what we see in the model as cultivating contacts for conversion. Now, conversion and conversion percentages are going to be another important factor, right? So if you want to talk about, well, which is more effective? Okay, great. If you're going to do mailers, right? You're going to do phone calls. You're going to do emails, right? Conversion ratios are the percentage in which they go from send out to engaged, right? So like, for instance, let's talk about cold calling. How many phone calls have I made? How many of them answered? How many of them, and I break it down because I like to be really more organized. How many are appointments? How many are future follow-ups? How many are not yet interested, but will be like 6 months? Not yet interested for me is like 6 months or more, right? And go kick rocks. That's basically what we're talking, right?
How many calls would you need to make this an appointment?
So for me, I know that I need to make at least 100 phone calls in order to set more than 3 to 5.
That's 100 dials or that's 100?
$100. Because right now, recently,
That was for expires?
oh, no, my lead generation is a little different.
Yeah, so.
But back when,
You're doing
okay,
expires.
back when I was doing it, if my memory serves me right, for every 100 dials, I was averaging probably, depending on the time of day, which day of the week. Anywhere as low as 46% answer to 63%, I think it was, around good there. And then from there, I would probably set anywhere between 1 to 4 appointments.
How did you, when I've called expires, I've had a hard time because I feel like I'm not early enough.
Yeah.
Like you gotta really do it early in the morning. Did you find that or is that just a mindset thing?
It's a mindset, because like I said before, I would do 17 hours of expired lead generation a week.
So would you start like at nine, or would you start early in the morning, like at 7:30?
No, I started at 8.
8?
Yeah, so I did like 8 to 12, 1 to 4, 2 to 6, 3 to 7. You know, I changed it up. But I would be ready at 8:01 to start that. But I would be in the office at 7:30 prepping to make my home remote like as pleasant as possible, because 4 hours, well done. Yeah, that's like here to Detroit or, you know, New York almost in some sense, right? Yes,
I have a question about relationship management.
okay.
So once you had a contact and you have a two-way conversation, and then you start building a relationship with them. How do you keep it professional? And how do you convert it, given the fact that everything else is there, that they're looking for a house and blah, 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 blah. So my problem that I had was that I was entertaining their relationship too much and not converting it into business. That's the problem that I currently have right now also.
How are you entertaining with them?
Well, I mean, I try to do added value. I try to, like, every time I call with them, I try to do like a value, like great value for them so that they wanna have a two-way conversation, get them information and involved in them. The problem is that I feel like there is a salesy part of it, and I feel like that's where I need to sharpen my skills to get them into like the act now and closing and all these things.
Depends on the relationship. You know, for me, if it's someone I've known for years, I can just shoot the shit with them. You know, be a devil's advocate for them sometimes. I'm like, for me, it just depends. Like, I'll be like, look, come on, man, you said you're ready to sell. Are you ready? When we actually have that conversation today? Because I mean, I got some time today, I'll drive over right now. You know, that kind of thing. Like, I'll be direct with them if I've earned the right to be direct with them.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And if they're like a
But if
close.
there are people that you met that were potential buyers, like this is a problem with buyers, You know, they don't have a pressing need, but they know they wanna buy in the next
See,
year.
that's the thing, is it's the relationship too, like I have built a relationship, like for instance, like obviously my lead generation is a little different now than it was. But, you know, I talk to other agents, now I've talked to an agent who I've never met, probably 12 different times, and I'm at the point where I can just be like, how many times am I gonna coach you before we actually meet? You know, that kind of thing,
Yeah.
when are we gonna meet, when are you gonna come over to California, you know, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
But
or they're entertaining the fact, but they.
yeah, and the funny thing is, she's like, look, I get calls from people all the time trying to recruit me and all that. But you're the only person I still answer the phone. I was like, well, why is that? Why is that, Kathy? And she's like, well, because I like you, Chris. I was like, well, then when can we work together? Like, I will be direct like that. I've never met her in person, but I will say that to her.
Yeah,
Right?
they kinda have to.
So sometimes, yeah, sometimes you have to, right? And it's like, look, you like me, you keep answering my calls, when can we work together? In fact, let's work together with it. If you don't wanna work with me directly, and you're not ready, then work with me in a way that can help me, right? Because I mean, obviously I'm here to help you, but who do you know I can reach out to? Can you at least give me 5 referrals this month, please?
Yeah,
You know?
that's like after you've had at least 6 months of conversations and they're just like.
When you build that relationship and become a friend, even if you haven't sold them anything, yes,
Yeah.
correct. It's not about being sold, it's about being you.
Genuine.
Thank you, yes, genuine, right? Cause that's the whole purpose behind having a good relationship. Otherwise, if you're not gonna be genuine and direct, how are they working with you? And you know, and some people will say like, and they turn down clients, right? Some people say, you know, that. What you're looking for, I'd wait, let me go to where you can find something that's available, because, hey, I can sell you this house right here right now, trust me, as much as I wanna do that, because that's money in my pocket, I'm not gonna do that because I'm here to do the right thing for you, right? You want a specific house in a specific location, these ones are close, but they're not your exact match, and I know that there's more coming on the market, you know, whatever, I mean, I'm just making shit up right here, right? But you can have conversations like that, but just be real with them and show that you care, because remember, we talked about this, the more that you care, the more that they can trust you, the more they trust you, the better relationships they have. The better relationship you have, the better your business and your database grows. And then that database turns into a data bank. Make sense? Okay. Cool, now. Types of communication, there's so many, phone calls, emails, text, face to face, KW app, right, which Jamie, I know you use, handwritten communications. Each time you reach out to a person in a database, that communication is called a touch. Okay? A purposely planned series of touches is called a campaign. Okay? A coordinated campaign of touches over time puts you front and center in people's minds when they think of real estate. These touches are how we nurture and strengthen our relationship. For some of you have most of you have over 100 contacts in your phone. Are you going to hit all contacts in the span of 12 months? Probably not if you cold call each and every single one. Now, unless you decide to spend a week just to call them, that's one thing. But there's some different ways to do it. You have, say, 209 people, phone call, email, text message, even if they're on your drip campaign. That's a contact, it's a type of communication without actually having to be direct. Yes, it's more of a one-way contact communication, but it still counts as a type of communication, okay? Having someone in your database does not make them your client. A written signed agreement does. Reaching out to them is consistently and systematically with value, and deepening your relationship will eventually lead them to be your client and to choose you. And these are certain ways to do it, because if you utilize all these types of communication using, for instance, command again, right? You can touch them on a daily, weekly basis without actually physically having to pick up the phone. Make sense? Okay. Now, we don't want to just pick a favorite here. We want to use them all to the best of your ability. So one way to consistently and systematically reach out to your database is through automated touches, right? Using command will allow the emails and the drips and even text messages for that matter to automate and text or reach out to them without you having to do it. You set the timer on when you want it to go out, right? So with command, you have access to smart plans and another thing called opportunities. These tools provide you with the option to automate your emails, text messages, and even set up notification to remind you to call your lead. So if you're on command every single day, it'll give you tasks. So sometimes if you have such a big database, it'll be, okay, you need to call this person, this person, this person today. What do? You call them. And you have what? Conversations. Okay. And is that a form of lead generation?
Yes.
Good. Okay. The final piece of the model is the client and referral loop at the bottom, okay? Once the lead is converted to a contact, they can provide either new or repeat business, or they can provide referrals. This is referred to as a loop because regardless of the business they bring you or how long it takes to bring them to your business, they continue to stay in your database. It is your job to continue to build the relationship and develop your relationship over time until they are ready to transact again or provide additional referral business. Like growing, like, I don't know, a lemon tree. It starts off as a little plant, but eventually it brings you what you created it for. You created a tree to provide lemons or oranges or apples, right? And so if you have an apple tree, right? Are you gonna get the apple right away? Probably not, right? Your database is no different. That's why we call it use farming. What is your farm? You're basically with the emails, the mailers, the door knocking, that's you watering each individual in your neighborhood in which you call your farm. You see how that metaphorically translates? And if you don't feed your farm dies in your database, but someone else can feed it and grows their database. And that's what's called a missed opportunity. So always water and feed your database. Make sense? Okay, so let's put it all together. As you nurture your leads and contacts and continue to lead generate from new sources of business, you will either be transacting from new, repeat, or referral business. The most important thing to remember is that lead generation is something that A, never ends, B, should be time blocked daily for the best results. Oh my goodness. And C, determines the size of your business, and essentially it is the how that will help you reach your goals for starting this career. Okay, in our last section today, we're going to discuss time blocking for lead generation, which I can't wait to do. So, you guys all understand this?
Yes.
Good. Fantastic. Hit me. Ahas.
You gotta continually be on your mind.
Continually be on your mind. That's called top of mind. What else?
Reach out to them in different forms.
Different forms of communication. My man. One more. One last one.
important is technology now, it helps them.
Technology. I'll take that as an aha.
There's
job.
different ways of lead generating, so I mean.
Use them all.
Yep.
Good. Okay. Next, so your sphere of influence are the people in your life that you influence and who influence you. These can be close relationships like your close friends or family, or more distant connections like your child, friends, parents, your child's if you have kids, you get them. The parents of the kids that are friends with your kids, whatever. A former coworker, a neighbor, or mom's friend from college. I don't know, whatever. There's so many different people out there that are not in real estate that you can connect with, and people in your sphere that have people that are not in real estate that they can connect you with. Okay. It is important to connect with your SOI systematically, efficiently, and effectively. We're going to get into that a lot over the rest of Ignite in order for you to get the most out of the follow-up. You want to get the most people in your sphere. And when you have more people in your sphere, you have more people in your what? Database. And that database turns into a data bank. And that data bank turns into
The bank.
that's right.
They're piggy bank.
Precisely. Now let's expand beyond your immediate relationships. One way to expand your SOI is to change how you think about the relationships around you. Let's look at these 15 categories and see if we can expand on the roles or relationships you may have with each category. Number 1, immediate family.
Start with the wife.
You can. Brothers, sisters, mothers, daughters, sisters, sons, whatever. 2, friends. 3, relatives, cousins, uncles, aunts. 4, neighbors. Hopefully they like you. 5, past coworkers. Hopefully they like you also. Hobbies, sports groups. Hopefully, I mean, this pretty much can be said for each one. Teachers. Were you?
Teacher,
You have to be a good student.
Let's hope they remember you first.
Bad student.
A, worship, club or volunteer groups of people, you know. 9, professional services. Interesting.
Like a contractor.
Before you guys go wild with your thinking, professional services are doctors, therapists, dog trainers, you know. Don't get too wild on that one. 10, financial legal services, attorneys, accountants. Bank tellers. What do you know? It's on here. It actually says it in my book. So good job. 11, personal services. Nails, hair, massage, trainers, babysitters. This is so funny. 12, home, auto services, landscapers, painters, car detailers, housekeeping. Real estate services, photographers, appraisers, lenders. Others, the owner of any small business you utilize, your children's or grandchildren's parents, your daycare services, whatever it may be. Question? Yeah,
What do you mean by real estate agent, number 15?
well, sometimes some agents are what's classified as a referral agent. So others can be like, you build relationships, so this is one of the things that I've talked about. On like my producer's mindset in the past, where on command you have referrals. When you go to referrals, I like to go into map. In map, I like to look at market centers. And I build relationships with agents around the country using that by adding them into my network. You can invite to your network. Sometimes you'll get some too. And you can put like a little message when you send out that, hey, you know, I'm out of Southern California, specifically Los Angeles. If you have any real estate needs, I'd love for you to think about me. And you can do that when you go to Jamaica camp or family reunion. I like to get at least 2 to 5 business cards per state, right? From each person that I can build a relationship with. Because you don't know who out of state will send you a referral. So real estate agents are other agents that can refer you business. So whether they're at referral status or whether they're just another active agent somewhere else in the country or anywhere in the world. And like I talked about diving into the Japanese market and building a relationship with them, that would categorize as number 13 for real estate agents. Real estate services will be lenders and other people like, you know, they might, if you have a good relationship with your escrow officer, your lender, your title rep, who knows, they might send you some business and clients. You never know. Because they know people too. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Chris, now, when we do that referral, I've seen that page on comment, it's protected, you know, the name, everything. But what if we want to refer another agent outside Keller Williams? Is there a form for that?
Not through our system. Google.
No, for us, like, is there a form?
Oh, like a form? Oh, yeah, referral.
Contract, I don't know.
Yeah, there is.
Not.
Yeah, it's the same, yeah, it'd be the same when you send to anyone in Keller Williams. So, yeah, and if you need that, you can ask Natalie or Simon to download that contract for you. You fill it with it. So, but if it's gonna be outside of Keller. So. Okay, categorizing your sphere of influence. As you think about these 15 categories, let's take 2 minutes to jot down some people that are in your SOI that you don't think are in your phone. Try your best to add 1 person to each category. Okay, so go. So remember, there's 15 categories. Think of 1 person in each category that you can jot down, at least, so you should have 15 potential clients. You've got 2 minutes, starting now.
That they are not in our mobile.
They're not in our phone?
If they're not, or they are. You guys said not.
They're not in our phone.
That you don't think are in your phone.
Okay, so we're gonna find their contact.
You get?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay.
Right, what's that?
Mhm. So who's in your sphere of influence based on the 15 categories that you do not think is in your phone book?
Number 13 is Chris. You.
Ah, You can put me down.
No, I have your number, no, that's what it like.
Oh, I'm in your phone book? You can delete me into that. Okay. One more minute.
So you're seeing like my farm, if I have that, my farm like that, I have to have the permission to put them in my database, yeah.
Okay. So now count the names you wrote down. And who would like to share how many extra people they came up with?
You know, it's enough time.
It's 2 minutes. Fine, I mean, even if you got 3, that's better than what you had 2 minutes ago.
I got 8.
You got 8? Okay, no excuse, man. She got 8. 8.
Always they're smarter than us.
Well,
That's,
Women are smarter than men.
this is always.
No, we just think more, that's all, we just think a lot.
let's keep it on topic. This is being recorded, and the last thing I need is my class to go off that tangent. I'll never let me teach again. Okay, everyone good? Anyone beat 8, or is 8 the current winner? Okay, 1,000 points, you're my winner.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So. Here we go. So if you have time, let's see, you guys want to calculate them also into that form, remember that 0.81 to see how many can be potential incomes. Now. Are you ready to shift your mindset yet again? Good. All right, so I want you to think back on your day that we had on Tuesday. We're gonna take a couple of minutes to think back on it. And from the time you got up to the time you went to bed, right? When you woke up, what did you do, right? Did you call your mom? Did you call a family member? Did you brush your teeth? Did you get your coffee? Did you look at the news on your phone? Check your email? Did you wake your kids up? Grab your workout clothes? Did you go for a run? Take yourself through your day, okay? Even if it was yesterday. Just go through your day. Wake up, shower, send a couple of emails, get in the car, to drive to get coffee, run an errand, to drop off your dry cleaning. Just take a minute to write down where you went, what you did, okay? I'll tell you why we're doing this. So what did you do in the last 24 hours? From waking up. And it doesn't have to be too detailed, so I went out and went to the bathroom for about 20 minutes. Okay, while you do that, I want you to look at your list when you're done with it. And write down who you interacted with or spoke to during those moments. Okay? Who was the first person you interacted with? Did you have a conversation with that person? What did you talk about? Who did you email? Who did you call or who called you? Who did you say hi to give an order to or smile at? Bill collectors don't necessarily count. It was a joke. Did you wave at your child's friend's mother at drop-off? Did you smile at the barista before he or she took your order at the coffee shop? Did you say hi to your neighbor while walking your dog? Did you tell them to go pound sand? What did you do? Take a minute to go back through your day and jot down the people who you interact with. You don't need to know their name. And once you've identified the people and the activities, I want you to think about those interactions. Could you deepen your relationship with those people? Could you have smiled at the neighbor and politely said, you know, we see each other every day, and I don't know your name.
Yeah.
I'm, and then your name, obviously. Of course you could do that. What about those you didn't interact with? Could you have smiled and said good morning to the barista rather than just ordering and taking your coffee and bouncing? It's good. It's time to change the way you think about your days. You aren't just running errands. You're meeting potential buyers and sellers every single day. You aren't just ordering coffee. You're creating a relationship with the people who help you. And because of that relationship, you may be poised to help them the day they are ready to buy, sell, invest, or rent real estate. Potential client calling.
Which,
Uh,
my boss.
Your job is to meet and connect with people. If you think about it, kind of amazing, right? How we doing?
Real estate is not selling property.
No, it's not.
Art of networking. Art of
Selling properties is the extra credits, basically. You're in the relationship business, the relationship building business. Go to networking events.
It's the expert they do it, Maria.
What's the website for that? I forgot, Evite or Invite or something?
Event, right?
Event, right.
Okay, this next activity, you'll be having a discussion with a partner to go over your daily activities. The goal of this activity is to help each other identify places where you both might interact more with your SOI and get and to get into relationships with potential leads. Okay, so take about 5 minutes about how you spend your days. In fact, I know I told you guys this a little over before because this one I'm really passionate about, and this is a really important feature of your real estate business. So I get if you gotta leave it for and you have other things, by all means. But in the meantime, I'll spend about a couple minutes.
Can it be like what you're gonna do tomorrow?
No, what you did yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Go. Person sitting next to you should be sufficient. That would be you two. You two. So what did you do yesterday?
David? Calling out the potential clients that I have already, so just, following up. And then I came hopefully.
Trying to. I just need to get out there more time.
Connected one of them to a business.
So my neighbor, I'm really good.
I was doing this game plan.
So I walk my dog.
Another
I
client.
wear t-shirt on.
They just had to fire and broker. And Monday is. Sorry. And then I was. And then I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got up, at baseball, job site.
Yeah.
Do you have a date?
Is
Are you
contractor, right?
neighborhood?
Okay,
So I
okay.
did, maybe last meeting and I put it Wednesday. It's a big story. Yeah, all working on.
Stop. Bring it back in.
All your, my employees know that you're.
Okay, so check it out. I'm hearing some of you guys, right? You guys are learning more about each other,
Right.
which is phenomenal. Because you guys are building a relationship right here, right now. Is a prime example of what you guys are gonna do out there. How hard was that? I heard you talking about sending out emails. I heard you guys talk about going to the team meeting yesterday. Right? And it's making us think of not only what we did, but it's also an exercise that's helping us interact with each other and get to know each other. And to remember things and who we met with and what we talked about and what our routine is. And when you think about that, talk about sending email, I'm sure somewhere in your mind, you're thinking about what I could have done to better my day to improve on that. Right? Or how to build a better relationship by asking a better question about what he does in contracting, right? That's an example right there, guys, of lead generation. Was that a difficult task? You do that every single day. Every single day when you leave this room, what you guys need to do with each other as role-playing partners, which I hope you all have at this one session, fine, you guys need to be interacting on a daily basis, keeping each other accountable, helping role play, getting to know each other better, right? But at the same time, practicing that, so what you guys just did, as easy as that felt, was it, did you feel good doing it?
Yeah.
That's as hard as it gets, you guys. You guys are strangers until today, right? For the most part. You guys see each other, but you never really interacted, right? Like that example with the neighbor, hey, we've been there, I don't even know your name. I'm Chris. You just did what an example was. You guys got to talk about your day just. It made you think, what could I have done differently? Who did I interact with? Your days, every single day, is now gonna be tracked. What am I gonna do to create income producing activities to make the most out of my day? Remember, we all have 24 hours. It's just like that limited belief of there's not enough time. I don't have time to do it. That's a bunch of BS. You make the time worth spending to build your business. And just now, you all proved that you're capable of doing just that. So great job, everybody. Now, as you saw in the last exercise and experienced, sometimes all you need to do is think about things from a different angle and you can achieve more. Isn't that crazy? Perspective, right? You found more members of your sphere of influence. She got 8. 8. By simply viewing them as a category of people you know, categorizing people. That's awesome, right? And build out those different categories, right? Maybe I want 10 in each category. If you need to go, you're good.
I just wanted, is there anything like, maybe like an aha for this?
Next slide, actually, after I'm done with this.
Alright.
Yeah. So at KW, we have a coaching program called Bold, which is basically this on steroids. And as you know, Josh can say he's a Bold graduate, right?
Us too.
Ah, you too. Oh, look at that. Good job, you guys. All right. I remember who all took Bold. This was very good. My apologies. Okay. So basically, it means business objective of life by design. One of the great things about Bold is that it helps you create a mindset of abundance and growth. So, Bold law, change the way you look at things and the things you look at. Exactly. All right. Being a successful agent is about finding more people to help and serve in buying and selling their homes. When you change how you look at the world, you will find more of those people that you can help. Perspective and mindset is the key foundation to time blocking and lead generation.
That was my aha, if you remember, that was my aha like 3 times ago.
Perfect. Well, now we got new ones. Hit me.
Just change your mindset on it. Instead of thinking that you're bugging them and just reaching out and like, be like, how can you help them? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yes.
My aha is like looking at my schedule and the things that I do and then realizing like I didn't take advantage of really talking to people. Sometimes I'm just moving and just doing my own thing when I could be more social and ask people
Exactly.
questions.
What else? Yeah, I'm looking at you.
So I love talking to people. And, you know. I guess, you know. I realized my, like, I think my fear in this in the roadblock, so I don't know what that could be, and that's probably for another day.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't want to. Like, I wanna stay genuine.
Yeah.
You know, that's like my thing about connecting to people.
That's good.
I truly care about that, and you know,
That right there is the key to building more relationships, because again, when we know that you care, because you genuinely do, it's gonna make lead generation that much easier for you.
and so I think like. It's just a fear of losing that, because I don't want that to be, you know, it's. Like, I could tell if someone has an ulterior motive.
Of course.
And, you know, it's easy to know if somebody's calling you and like there's a script, and even if they polished it, like you could tell there it's still there.
So stay genuine. That's why the whole point of reading the scripts and identifying the message is to better have the conversation so you can stay genuine. Right, because now you know what message you're trying to deliver in terms of the sale aspects of it, but at least you're still coming out genuine and personal. Right, that's why you don't be like. Hi Alicia, this is Chris Baker with Keller Williams, how are you today? Like it's just like,
That's why I really like the Ford model.
yeah,
It
right?
seems very genuine, to like act and look.
And do it your version.
Exactly. Okay. So one last thing here, I believe. Oh, there's a. All right, you guys ready to power through this with me? I mean, if you guys need to go forward, we can, no problem. I got you. It's all being recorded, so. We're gonna power through this because, I mean, obviously we take a line of tangent, so what's the lead generation is a very impactful thing with your business. So next thing is expanding your sphere of influence, adding more personal information to your contacts. What are the kids' names? What are the dog names? What the hell is the imaginary friend's name? Do they still have an imaginary? That kind of weird shit. Not that it's weird, I'm just saying.
What's
Right.
their birthday?
What's their birthday?
Anniversary.
What's, yeah, exactly, anniversaries, right? All of that. When's the dog's birthday? Cause, you know, stuff like that. So a good touch campaign consists of several types of interactions. Face to face, email, handwritten notes in order to complete these touches with everyone in your SOI. Okay? So contact information is important because we want to reach out to them in various ways. A handwritten card makes a big impact, right? People like that. Do you like getting handwritten cards? Is that cool?
Mhm.
All right, does it make you feel good? There you go. So it is more expensive and time consuming than an email, but a handwritten card may not be the best channel for a lot of information. Imagine mailing an update on the homes that you have sold in your SOI versus sending an email, which is more effective, right? So handwritten letters are good for certain things, while emails are good for others, right? Not only do you want to contact information, you also want to gather their personal information, right? What, like I said, are their birthdays, their anniversaries, and so forth. Okay, questions?
What is the way other than Facebook to bring somebody's birthday? Not date of birth, birthday. Cause I can't find all my leads.
Here's a cheesy.
Is there an app with paying?
Here's a cheesy.
Facebook,
Facebook, yeah.
Other than
Here's a cheesy
I
way.
can't find them out of this.
Hey. Jamie, what's your astrological sign? You're Gemini. Oh, so that means you're born January, and you'll be like, no, it's fine. Whatever, right? It's goofy, but it works. Think outside the box, right? Now. It's the same with other personal information. Knowing they love crochet or basketball allows you to see an article online and share it with them. Oh, you're a Lakers fan, oh. See, I'm a basketball fan. No one can hate on my team because we've sucked for 30 years, okay?
What's
So-
that?
Charlotte Hornets.
Oh.
See, I'll get crap for it, but I'm okay with it. I've accepted it, right? But at least it builds a relationship and, you know, breaks the ice, right? Knowing they have kids, letting you wish them a happy summer or drop off a rainy day. Okay, that didn't make sense. Anyways, my point is. Getting to know people, right? Like, and doing like, hey, we're having an event, like, for instance, some people during like, you know. Halloween or Thanksgiving, they'll buy a crap ton of like pumpkin pies at Costco and send them out to their clients and do an event, you know, stuff like that. So. We also like to know if they're a homeowner or not. Do you own? Do you rent? Do you mind me asking, right? Another way to expand is what you know, so they have more opportunity to connect. In other words, like. What are other things that you know about your clients or the people in your sphere of influence that you can connect with without just talking about real estate? That way it builds the relationship where you can get invited to weddings like some people, right? Or graduation. If you see someone's birthday on Facebook, direct message them, that's one thing, right? But if you already have their birthday, contact them the week before, right? Be more proactive with them, don't be like every other realtor. If your neighbor is complaining about how about having low water pressure, ask them for their phone number so you can share their contact to, like someone that you know that can help fix that problem.
Become a sick to reach to a lead doctor.
Exactly. Like you can reach your favorite plumber, for instance. Call your child's friend's mother that you know, like staying on top of what's going on in the neighborhood. Some people care about that shit. Ask for their email address so you can share monthly updates, neighborhood nurture emails. These touches bring value to your contact's life. Make sense? Now, strengthen casual connections. Another way to expand your sphere is to pull those you have casual relationships into closer proximity. We've already talked about this a bit when we went through your day. Start to see your everyday life, tasks, and errands as an opportunity to get into relationships or closer relationships with the people that you interact with. Do you usually play games on your phone when you're not cheering on your daughter's soccer team, right? Or do you actually communicate with the other people there? Or are you just like, playing whatever the hell is the latest game, right? If so, put down the phone and talk to the parent next to you. As we mentioned before, get the name of the barista you see multiple times a week. Get to know them. They might be like, oh, hey, ordering the same thing today? I don't think I'll spice it up, whatever. Or yeah, no, what, you know my order. These people may or may not be in the market for a home right now, but don't forget that 8.1% of the people they know may be. They know people that might, so get in touch with them so that they can refer you business. Remember, this is your career. If they buy a house this year, great. They buy a house next year, great. If they refer you business and buy multiple times with you over your career, even better. Build a
Database.
relationship, but yes, join groups that connects you people with similar interests and value, right? Fantasy football leagues or church groups or chess clubs, whatever you like to do, right? Another great way to expand is to meet others with the same values and interests as you, right? That's one way. If you love basketball, why not join a neighborhood league, right? That helps you mentally, physically, and with your database. Real estate is a demanding career, and what career isn't? You're starting a new career. If you're new, it's important to have a career you enjoy. So go ahead and align your career with your interests and values, because those interests and values are what bring you into contact with like-minded people who need a place to live. Everybody needs a place to live. So what do you enjoy doing? Do you have a cool bottle or a baseball hat collection? Maybe you join a group on Facebook that does that, and you heard, hey guys. If you're in California, obviously the Facebook group allows you to, hey guys, I'm in Southern California. If you guys are looking to buy, sell, or refer, let me know. I'll throw in one of my favorite hats in the transaction. Why not? Right? So another great tip is to expand your sphere is to wear your name badge or your KW colors or whatever. One of the largest mega agents in our company was forced to leave his entire business when a hurricane devastated his area. He and his wife picked up and moved to a place where they knew no one. They started their lead generation by wearing their company shirts to the gym and around town. With their approachable demeanors and smiles, people asked them about their business. Oh my God, this works, right? This gave them the perfect opportunity to tell people about real estate and help them to build a business so large they now own several market centers. Oh my goodness. Change the way you look at things and the things you look at.
Change.
Thank you. You no longer have errands. You now have opportunities to go into relationships with people and learn how you can help them. They're not called errands anymore. They're called networking opportunities. Okay. Even if you weren't going to make money, it sounds like a pretty good life, right? Especially if you love what you do. Referrals. When we discussed the lead generation model, we saw that your business will come from new, repeat, and referral business. Remember, your sphere of influence are those people who know you, your reputation, and your professionalism, and are likely to give you referrals. Like you, They know lots of people and have their own sphere of influence. And guess what? Most of your sphere wants to help you succeed in real estate and are eager to help. I can't emphasize that enough. You guys have heard me say that every single time I've taught this thing. People want to help you build your business. You'd be surprised. You need to be sure your spheres know what you know, that you're in real estate and that you want to work with their friends, their families, their coworkers, and their acquaintances, right? Remind them. You want to let them know that you would love for them to tell you if they knew of anyone who's looking to buy or sell. Let's look at some conversation starters to see how it looks for referrals. So for instance, you can say things like this. Hey, Jamie, listen, man, I'm building my business on people I know and the people they know. So do you know of anyone from family, friends, work, your neighborhood, or a group you belong to who's thinking or have talked about buying, selling a home or investing in real estate? I'd be pleased to be a resource for them. Is that hard? Now, obviously say it in a way that makes more sense to you, right? But you understand the message. If you hear anyone with a real estate need, will you keep me in mind and let me know right away? You cool with that?
Free referral fee.
And then there's people like that. Who want a kickback, Jesus Christ.
Can I share a little story about what happened with that, just 1 minute?
Sure.
Seconds. I had a lady that, I built a relationship with her, she was a business owner, and, she told me that her neighbor was selling. And she told me that she will give me the name if I give her a referral fee, but she wasn't an agent. She was just a person trying to get some money off of her neighbor that is, you know, trying to sell a property. And then I told her, well, I checked with my broker and I was like, well, you know, the most I can give you is $500, you know, just like a nice.
As long as it complies with the DRE regulation, yes.
So, yeah,
Double
yeah,
check with Simon about that too, if you ever had any questions or concerns about that.
Okay.
Before you start talking to people about, you know, yeah.
oh, yeah,
Talk to
and
Simon first before you talk about mine, because obviously with him being 27 years as a broker, he's gonna know the answer to that, so.
okay,
Yeah.
so the point is that she didn't want the $500, she wanted thousands of dollars. Thousands, like.
Oh, you do, that's awesome, well, let me put you in touch with Simon or Chris and they can help you get your real estate license.
Yeah, that's what I told her, like, if you want, I told her, if you want money like that, you have to go to a referral agent.
Yeah, you have to at least be licensed for that kind of compensation.
Yeah, so the point is that, you know, she was trying to make money off of me without even knowing the industry, and there's a lot of people out there that don't know.
Oh, that's why I taught real estate school, practice principle and finance, because I had like 70 people in the class, out, this is the get rich quick industry, this is it, alright. Strap in. That was my boot camp class, I scared the shit out of people that were like, oh, I can buy that, never mind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the people who took it serious, then they became, you know, good agents, so, yeah, good job, alright, any ahas? Really, none? Nothing? Wow, we rushed through that one, how about the fact that, well, now I know I should probably know. You know, their birthdays, their kids' birthdays, their dogs' birthdays, is that an aha? Is that something you knew to do before this?
Yeah, I like the one too about, you know, like strengthening casual relationships, like with people that you see every day.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's like not only a good for business, but like it's a good for life in general.
Exactly.
When I go to the same 7-Eleven, like when I first moved here, and for like the first year. I saw the guys every day, but I didn't know them, then I got their names and yeah, them say, and then they know my name, so now it's like. You know, 5 years later, we're like best buds.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
I felt like I was looking at people very short term, like not really getting to know them. And I definitely see real estate as something that you have to.
100%, which leads into this. Lead generation best practice, track your leads, audit your leads, diversify your database, and be consistent to continue to build those relationships. Right? Time blocking. Ooh, time blocking your lead gen. Prepare your mind, practice, and call this. So that's why I say, like when I was lead generating for 17 hours, right? Add about 2 hours times 17, that's how much I really did in prep time and after the call time. See what I'm saying? So I would prepare my mindset, so I listen to music in the zone, like, okay, here we go, I'm ready, let's do this, right? Next is, all right, practice, I do some role playing, I know what I'm gonna say, and then, boom, I know who my call list is, now I'm gonna hit it, right? That's what I mean by that, by taking action, that's the actual lead generation, that's actually making the calls and having the conversations, introducing yourself. Right, and don't be monotone, be excited, right? Hey, John, speak baby, kind of, how you doing? They'll be like, what's up, Chris? Hey, you know, and then I'll go to that, I'm not like, hi, is this Josh at 1, 2, 3 names, like. Hey Josh, I'm a local realtor, like, hey Josh, Chris Baker, Keller Williams, how you doing? It's a little different, right? It's a little different, isn't it? When you have like the energy and the passion, the tonality, because tonality is gonna be another factor in this. Right, next is maintain, database and follow-up, right, that's after, so you do so basically. Right, 4 hours of lead gen. Before I lead gen, I'm doing preparing, during lead gen, I'm taking action, after lead gen, I'm maintaining. Okay,
This to call that to post things.
Right.
List,
yeah,
to follow up.
yeah,
That you don't do while talking?
No.
Otherwise you forget 100.
oh, no, I'm taking notes with every conversation I'm having. You wanna take notes, absolutely, otherwise I'll forget, with 100 dials. Minimums per day, yeah, I'm gonna forget. Next, battle distractions, protect your timeline, build a bunker, hence why I called it bunker mode. Store provisions, what is that? Food, water, shit that you can do. Sweep for minds, or what? Distractions, okay, no distractions. Put your phone on, well, I wouldn't put it on do not disturb, but like if you have 2 phones, like, for instance, we're going that route. Business phone is on, the personal phone is off, right, that kind of thing. Right? Enlist support. But from who? The sphere, right?
Which one is in this?
The report.
Example,
Okay, an example. So. Tell those most likely to seek you out what you're doing and when you're available, who will help you. That's the conversation you can have with your influence. And a bunker mode is somewhere that you're gonna have no distractions from anything, okay? Provisions, food, water, sweep for minds, what distractions can you remove? And yes, enlisting support. Who will help you? And tell those most likely to seek you out what you're doing and when you'll be available. I'll give you an example. And I'm gonna be in bunker mode for the next 4 hours. Do you need anything now? Or can we talk after? Because when I'm in my bunker mode, I'm locked in. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you're letting people know you're gonna be in lockdown. That's what enlist support really means.
especially from kids and what.
Exactly.
Kids.
Now, with that being said, do you have an aha?
We're still not here, I can't.
Anyone?
I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
they gotta distract me.
any ahas from that little portion? Be prepared. Right? Be
Take it
ready.
seriously.
Take it seriously. What else? Protect your time. Be consistent. Okay, I like
I
it.
thought it's something not doable, it is doable.
Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Who survived? Oh, hang on a second. What? Hang on, let me see something. And show. I wanna go to this, now let's go to. All right, our affirmation for today. Not yet. In 3, 2, 1.
I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution for people are happy to be in relationship with me.
You believe that?
Yes.
Remember, role play, add to your database. Okay? Build a relationship with each other. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, realtors alike. You survived.
Yes.
And prepare for the next session, which is going to be grow your database. Do we have any questions, comments, concerns?